Very interesting. We had a record warm day today, at least tying the record, not breaking it, but 83 degrees in almost mid-November, unacceptable. Thankfully, we'll see temperatures drop a little tomorrow, mainly with some drier air moving in, kind of pick back up on Thursday or Wednesday with some rainfall and then drop again as we head into the end of the week. However, the temperature drop that we're expecting by Thursday behind our front is still above average, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. A little bit of low cloudiness still hanging around parts of the area, as well as a few little light embedded showers. Bulk of the clouds and rainfall are now well off, and have been since for most of the day today, to our east. A front is moving through the area, not quite through Kenner just yet, as the dew point there is still 70 degrees, but 50s and lower 60s just off to our west. That dry air will be moving in briefly for most of the day tomorrow. We will start to see the clouds rolling back in, maybe a few stray sprinkles, especially going into early on Wednesday. Then by Wednesday, we're back into the warm, humid air. Wednesday is also, afternoon and evening, a chance for scattered to numerous showers and storms, and a low-end threat of some strong storms. Then as we get into late Wednesday night, early Thursday, here comes the front. Might initiate some more thunderstorms during the early morning hours of Thursday, and then less humid and cooler air is on the way. Maybe not the fall chill, but it'll certainly feel a whole lot nicer. And mentioned, we will have a low-end threat for severe, an isolated strong or severe storm possible. Main threat would be gusty winds, as well as a low-end threat for some isolated street flooding. Could see a few embedded downpours. Again, don't think that's going to be a widespread concern. What is helping to move this weak front through is this westerly flow. So it is not a pattern coming out of the north, it's coming out of the west, and temperatures over Texas aren't very cool, but it is less humid. This upper trough that is deepening out toward, now moving toward the Rockies, is what will bring in a stronger cold front. Now, the main energy with this system is staying to our north, so that means that's where the coldest air stays, as well as most of the instability, which is why our severe weather threat here fairly limited. But it will help to bring in some cooler air. The bulk of the cold stays to our north. However, there are some signs, not really in the next 10 days, but kind of beyond 10 days, that we see a big pattern shift. What has been a very warm central and eastern half of the nation and cold out west does look like things are going to change. But for the next several days, going into the 10-day forecast, we will likely stay above average. And I've shown this graphic, and it is kind of misleading because it makes it look like it's going to be hot. This just indicates the high likelihood of temperature staying above average, whether that's 10 to 15 degrees above average or 1 to 2 degrees above average. It just means we will stay above normal, but temperatures will be in the 70s. Then after that, we have kind of an equal likelihood of us either being below or above average. In other words, it does look like we will start to see a temperature shift. Also, with that cool down coming, it's going to be less humid. This will kind of get rid of that more tropical feel we've experienced for about the last 2 weeks. 64 will be our dew point, so a bit drier. They're back into the 70s on Wednesday, and then really dropping as we head into Thursday and especially this weekend. That drier air is finally starting to move into southeast Louisiana. Dew point still hanging in the 60s to around 70 degrees, kind of stubbornly still at 70 degrees at Kenner, but those values are dropping. So drier air for our day tomorrow. Kind of stormy at times on Wednesday, then very pleasant wrapping up the week, heading into the weekend and starting next week.